All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Welcome to week 2 of the challenge, starting tomorrow. Hopefully, everyone's steps are going pretty good, even with the crazy weather that some of us have had. It's a little unfortunate with how cold it got and low temperatures and all this snow, but with that being said, it's also a great reminder of what the winter time is like and how it can kind of get hard to, get your steps in and get outside in the winter time. And so with that, sometimes we're just gonna have to, buckle up and go outside and, walk in the snow and in the cold weather. I know that sometimes in some areas it's been way too cold to even go outside. So with that being said, like, maybe thinking about investing in a treadmill or a walking pad, things that will help you to get your steps in when you can't go outside or you don't feel like going outside. I will definitely say that my walking pad has been a huge game changer for me, like I said, like being able to stay indoors and watch my show while getting my steps in when I don't want to go outside in the cold. I also love the snow and love getting outside, so I have gone and walked out in the snow and I really enjoy it. It's super good. God, there's like a crazy, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's like a glare. Maybe it's not going to show up. Maybe it's just on my screen, but it looks really weird. Anyways, yeah, so like getting outside is, it's really good for us. It's good for our mental health, get some fresh air. Obviously, when you're in negative temperatures or single digits, it's a little cold and a little hard. So definitely understand. For those of you that have hit the 10,000 steps daily, really, really good job. To those of you that haven't been able to, that's okay, but who have been continuing to push their steps up, like that's okay that you didn't hit the 10,000. It's great that hopefully this is helping you to become aware of what you need to work on and how you need to start pushing your steps up higher, because 8 to 10,000 a day is definitely what you want to get to. You want that to become a new norm for you. So, yes, we are starting up with protein starting tomorrow, right? Our high protein meals. Um, but I want you to still continue to work on your daily steps. You do not have to post them anymore and prove that you are hitting them anymore. But I really want you to continue with them because this challenge is about creating a new you, right? It's instilling habits to create a new lifestyle that create a new you. And that is going to include you continuing on with your steps from here on out for your new life. So yeah, continue to push those. If you want to see fat loss, having, your steps up is going to be a very big part of the puzzle. So yeah, I just want to push you to continue to push through with those steps. Now, like I said, we're starting week 2. Lots of people may start to feel unmotivated and kind of falling off, and that's okay. That's normal, right? That is what we talked about. But it's time to get back to it. I want you guys to stick to this. I want you to stick to this for 3 weeks as best you can, pushing yourself. And then after those 3 weeks, you continue to stick to it, but maybe you're not pushing the 10,000 steps every day. You let yourself have a couple days. But yeah, I really want you guys to do your best to just stick with this because, like I said, that's the biggest things that happen. The biggest thing that happens for people is they just fall off. They become unmotivated. And when they have one bad day, they say to heck with it for the rest. And it's really important that you don't do that because that is the difference between those that have the bodies and the health that they want and those that don't, is that they actually stick to it even when they have a bad day or when they have a bad meal or whatever. They stick to it. So let's get to it. So yeah, we are going to be starting up our high protein week. So let me start sharing my screen. Let's see. Share screen. And then, yes, here we are. I am in the challenge group, the new year, new you 21-day challenge. I'm scrolling down to the featured tab, and then there's a lovely picture of me from last week's masterclass. Let's see. Here we go. Here is our, oh no, that's the YouTube. Sorry, right here. It's just it. Yep, our challenge guide. So, yep, so week 2. So I did have in this last week, I wrote 2 high protein meals and a protein shake or a bar as a snack. So, I'm going to make it actually where it's just 1 high protein meal and a protein shake or a bar that you have to post pictures of. But I want you to, on your own, you don't have to prove it, but I want you to push for at least 2 high protein meals and a shake or bar. And even better would be 3 high protein meals. Like, that's what you want to eventually get to, is where you are having 3 high protein meals a day and a protein shake. That is what it's going to take to get to the right amount of protein that you need to get in a day. But all we have to do is post a picture of a high protein meal a day and a shake or a bar. You can actually, you don't even have to do a shake or bar. You could just do 2 protein meals. So that's another thing. I'm going to edit that in there. I'm going to say either 2 high protein meals or 1 high protein meal and a protein shake or bar. Okay. Because like, yeah, if you don't want to go buy shakes and protein bars, that's fine. You can definitely do 2 high protein meals, but they need to be really high protein. And I'm going to obviously give you guys, examples of what are going to be high protein meals. So, yep, that's all you have to post is either a picture of 1 high protein meal and a shake or a bar, or 2 high protein meals. But I'm going to push you to continue to work on hitting at least 2 protein meals, and we'll push you to even go to even 3 if you can. Yeah, continue with those steps this week, right? As best you can. You do not have to post anymore. You can, if you guys would like to continue to post and keep yourself accountable and others accountable in the steps thread, you are more than welcome to continue to post those steps. I would actually love that. Like, by all means, do it. And if that helps you guys, definitely do that. But you do not have to. It is not required for you to win the challenge. So yeah, if you want to continue to post your steps, please do. You guys want to still motivate each other on getting those steps in while hitting the protein meals? Let's do it. Let's continue to actively participate in the challenge group discussion. So that's just in the Facebook group. Let's help to keep each other accountable. Let's help to motivate each other. And then post your protein meals or your protein meal and shake or bar in that fat loss secret groups. I will start a new thread, just like we had for the steps. I will start that for our protein meal tomorrow morning. I also want to say thank you to everyone that is like posting motivational things and helping to motivate others, and just awesome, nice comments and motivational things. Like, love it, love it, love it. That really helps. I know that helps everyone. Posting that when you're struggling and stuff. I know that helps too, asking questions, all those things. Like, don't be afraid to post. Don't be afraid to reach out in the group, message me, all those things. So yeah, here we are, week 2's video, and then we'll have 1 more video next week, 1 more master class. So here is our protein guide. I first want to talk to you guys about why protein is important. Protein is important because it helps us to build muscles. So protein is literally the building blocks to everything on your body, to your skin, all that kind of stuff. Your hair, protein is so important. And so it is also a building block to your muscle. And so if you remember from last week talking about the workouts, the weightlifting, and why it's so important is because you want to build muscle. Building muscle may sound like manly, but that muscle is what gives you that toned look, right? And like, toning muscles, there's actually no such thing. You just build them or you don't, right? But building muscles is what gives you that toned look. So in the fitness world, you're probably going to start to see a lot of like, tone muscles is not a thing. You can't tone muscles, which is very true. But as women, we all know that saying toned, that's what we all want. And so if you want toned looking body, if you want a toned looking body, you want to build your muscles, and protein is the building block to that. So that's why protein is so important, and that's why we are working on it this week. Another reason protein is very important is because it's highly satiating. So the reason that it's highly satiating is because it takes longer to break down, and so it helps to keep you more full. So when you eat more protein, you'll eat less junk food. So if you have a lot of cravings and you're always wanting to snack on crap food, a big reason for that is because you are lacking in your protein. So when you raise your protein and you eat more, you will notice that you feel more full and you have less cravings, right? Which, leads to less fat gain. And then the last reason, well, not the last reason, there's many reasons why protein is important, but the last reason I'm going to talk about why protein is important is because it's actually less calories than any other macro, than carbs or fats. So, and the reason for that is because of the thermic effect of feeding, which is the digestion process. So it takes more calories to break down your protein than it does carbs or fat. So that's why eating protein is really important. You're going to be taking in actually less calories. I think it's like 20% of the calories that you take in from your protein is actually used in the digestion process. So let's say you ate 100 calories of protein, you'd actually only get 80 calories of those because 20 of those calories are being used to break down that protein versus fat and carbs. Carbs, it's like, I think it's only like maybe 3 to 5%. Fats, like, I can't remember exactly, like 7 to 10%, but yeah, protein is the highest. So yeah, protein helps us to build muscle. It keeps us more full, where it's highly satiating, and it's less calories. So all around, great thing to eat, right? And that's why you're going to hear everyone in the fitness and nutrition world telling you to eat more protein. So let's see, what do I want to talk about first? Let's go into knowing how much protein you should be consuming. So first, I'm going to speak in terms of grams, which a lot of you may not know this and understand grams, and that is okay. I will go into some other examples to help you for those of you that don't understand that. So, but you guys can still definitely benefit from this. So to know how much protein you should be consuming a day, a general rule of thumb is taking your body weight or your goal body weight. So if you are overweight and you need to lose 100 pounds, you don't want to use your body weight. You want to use your goal body weight. So say you are 250 pounds and you want to be back to like 160, that is the number you will use. So you would use 160 if that's your goal weight, times 1 to get how many grams of protein you should be consuming a day. So 160 times 1 is 160. So that person that's 250 pounds wants to be 160. They would be consuming 160 grams of protein a day. I'll give you an example, like myself. So I weigh 130. So I aim for around 130 grams of protein a day. So with that being said, if you want to have a high protein meal, I know that I have to consume 130 grams of protein in a day. So what I'll do is a lot of times I'll break this down for people like, let's see, 130, we'll do like, let's say like 35 grams times 3 is 105 grams. So that means a high protein meal for me could be like 35 grams a meal. So because that comes out to 105 grams of protein, then I still need an additional 25 grams. I would then drink a protein shake at 25 grams, and that would give me 130 grams of protein in the day. So 35 grams of protein at breakfast, 35 grams of protein at lunch, 35 grams of protein at dinner is 105. I still need 130. I drink a protein shake that has like 25 grams in it as a snack. That gets me to 130 grams. So yeah, a good number for most people is going to be somewhere between 30 and 40 grams of protein per meal. So that's going to be a lot more than a lot of people are used to. So I'll give you guys some examples in that in just a few, but now I'm going to give you an example for those that don't really understand grams. the way to know that you are having a high protein meal is using your fist. Okay, so you want each meal to have at least a fist size of meat at every meal. So at breakfast, try and aim for a fist size, lunch, a fist size, dinner, a fist size. Okay. And then also a protein shake or a protein bar. And that's what's going to get you to your daily amount of protein. So, granted, we are just working on either 2 high protein meals or a high protein meal and a bar or a shake. But you're going to want to eventually get up to having those 3 high protein meals and a shake or bar. And that's really what it takes for most people to hit their protein. It is hard. And it's something we are not used to doing. So yeah. I also just want to say that, like, when you think you're having a high protein meal, if you don't track your food and you're newer to this and you think you're having a high protein meal, it's probably still not high enough. Just like have this always in the back of your head from here on out. Like, oh, I think that's probably good. And then, like, nope, actually, Shasta said it's probably not. So add more. Even when you think you have enough on your plate, I promise you, you most likely don't. So just add more meat. These options up here are going to be the biggest bang for your buck. Okay, like right here from like pork loins on. Okay, so steak, that's sirloin steak, ribeyes, New Yorks. Those are going to be big protein, high protein. Ground beef right there, high protein. The leaner the ground beef, the more protein you're going to get out of it. So you'll want to get like a higher or a lower fat content, so it's leaner, and that's where you will get more protein. Chicken breasts, chicken thighs, chicken tenders, ground turkey, ground chicken, any kind of roast. Pork loin roasts are a really easy option. They're high protein and low calories. Wild game, I know a lot of people like to hunt, or their family family does, so you guys may have game meat around. That is a great option. It's a very lean protein. And that is the 100% organic, all natural, grass-fed meat. Like, yeah, the best you can get, right? Turkey, so any kind of like, like actual turkey meat or ground turkey, love that. Lamb, fish, so salmon, tilapia, halibut, whatever you like, great options for protein. Shellfish, canned tuna fish. I love using canned tuna fish for lunches. It's so easy. I literally had tuna fish for lunch today. I also really like Kirkland's canned albacore. It's literally like, I think it might even be 44 grams. Maybe it's only 40, but yeah, it's around 40 grams per can. So great option for your lunch right there. You can make tuna salad. You can make sandwiches with your tuna. You can have tuna with, I put like mustard, mayonnaise, celery, onion, some cut up spinach, cilantro, whatever you want to do. And then I'll eat it with like some crackers, however you want to do it. It's a great, easy option. Let's see, chicken sausages. I love to get these at Costco, which, side note real quick, I have a bunch of protein guides. I'm going to try to remember to put them in the Facebook group tonight. If I don't, someone please remind me, but it will give you options of like high protein options at Costco and Winco. So you guys can go shopping and get more if you want. So yeah, chicken sausages, super easy. I get those at Costco. They're in my freezer for those nights when I don't feel like cooking. Instead of going to fast food, I'll just go and grab a chicken sausage, right? Side note again, sorry, real quick. I also have a high or protein, lower calorie fast food option, right? I don't want to promote eating fast food all the time, but there are those times in life when life's crazy, the kids are screaming, you don't have time to make dinner, like you can go through fast food. And there are options that you can get that have higher protein. And so that's another guide I can give you guys. Yeah, pork chops, pork loins, those are all great protein options from here on. Really high protein, okay? That will be a good amount for your meals. Now, everything below this is going to be less protein. They have protein and they are considered protein options, but they are not going to give you the same amount as like these options up here, okay? Bigger bang for your buck up here. So we got bacon. Again, not super high, but it's got protein. Jerky. Jerky can actually be pretty good. That's one of my favorite things for a snack while I'm traveling. Sometimes you can even use it as a lunch, just load up on it because you'll have to eat quite a bit of it. Um, then we've got high quality deli meats. I do want to note on this because I know a lot of people like to do like the deli meat roll up things and stuff like that. They're really not crazy high in protein. Um, yeah, they are. If you were to start to track your food and learn how to track, you'll realize how like deli meat is really not that high. Um, Definitely can use it, but you're gonna want to double wrap those wraps with meat to, try to get it up higher. Let's see, eggs. Eggs again, they have protein in them, but they are not crazy high. So one chicken egg has 6 grams of protein. Like I said, I want to be hitting at least 30, 35 grams of protein per meal. So if I had one egg on a piece of avocado toast that a lot of people do, that's only 6 grams of protein. That is not going to cut it. That is not a high protein meal. You're going to want to add at least 2, 3 eggs, or adding some turkey bacon with 2 eggs on your avocado toast and using the Dave's Killer Bread toast because that's higher in protein. So that's a great option right there. Um, egg whites. Egg whites are higher in protein for sure. And because that's where the protein is in the egg, it's all in the egg whites. So what you could do if you want to do a scramble, you could do like a couple normal eggs and then add in some egg whites to get even higher protein. You can add egg whites. I've seen people do egg whites in their oatmeal to get a higher protein oatmeal. You could also add like whey protein to your oatmeal. But yeah, egg whites are a great option to use. Cottage cheese, Greek yogurt. I love using Greek yogurt. I use the Fabergé brand. It is high in protein. And yeah, I love to use that in substitute of like sour cream. So if I'm having tacos, I'll use Greek yogurt instead of sour cream. Less calories, more protein. I will use it to make a ranch dip, or I will use it for a tzatziki sauce, or I've used Greek yogurt with like cilantro and lime and jalapeno and garlic and some seasonings, and I blend that up, and it's like a nice little sauce to put on tacos or chicken or whatever you want to use it for. I put Greek yogurt in my smoothies. Great way to add in more protein and make your smoothie nice and creamy. I also have a recipe for a smoothie that's like 40 grams of protein. It tastes great. So I will also try to upload that one as well. If I don't upload that, please remind me if you guys want it. But yeah, my smoothie has literally 44 grams of protein, I think, and like 11 grams of fiber. Like that is an awesome smoothie right there. I also put whole milk in my smoothie, so that helps to get the protein up as well. Edamame is an awesome low calorie, high protein snack. So that's a great option. If you have a sweet tooth, you could try the Magic Spoon cereal. I love it. I love the fruity. That's my favorite flavor. And with some whole milk, I mean, that could be like 20 grams of protein right there, 20, 25, depending on how much you eat. And yeah, great option. And thank you, Chelsea. Gonna shout you out for showing me that Costco has Magic Spoon cereal now. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, have yet to get it there, but stoked on that because Magic Spoon is not cheap. But I like to look at it as it's not cereal, right? It is protein shake. It's like a protein powder, right? So you're getting what you pay for. It's expensive because you're getting a lot of protein out of it. So, buy it, hide it from the kids. It's your protein meal. It's not kids cereal, right? I mean, you can give it to your kids if you want to, totally. But because it is a little more pricier, it is, can be mom cereal or something. Yeah, so great way to get your protein up is that cereal. Some swaps that I like to use, like the Greek yogurt, instead of sour cream. I like to do, let's see, it is the Carb Balance flour tortillas. So because they have higher fiber, higher protein, so that's a good option. Not because there's less carbs. I eat all the carbs. Carbs are not bad. That's old keto way of thinking. But we're not going to go down that rabbit hole today. But carbs are good. There is Banza pasta. That is a higher protein pasta noodle that's made with garbanzo beans. Then yeah, beans. Beans are a great option. I haven't really put that on there, but beans are, you can get protein from beans like black beans and garbanzo beans. Like I said, edamame. Again, they're not up here. They're not the high hitters. They are down here. But it has protein in it, so definitely can get protein from it. But like maybe you do some chicken with black bean, like a bowl, a chicken black bean taco bowl kind of thing. There's some protein right there. I want to note that peanut butter is not a good protein source. As everyone may believe, it is not a good protein source. I promise you that. It is a fat, it is considered a fat over a protein. So it's higher calories. So to get the same amount of protein from from peanut butter that you would want to get the amount of protein that you would want to get from a steak in peanut butter, you'd have to eat so much more in calories. So it is not a good protein option. Let's see what else. Yeah, so peanut butter is not a good protein source. Like I said, these up here are your heavy hitters of protein. So a lot of times it's hard for people to hit their protein because they're just so busy, right? It's hard to cook, things like that. So what I like to do is I'm not a big meal prepper, but I will cook in batches. So I will cook a bunch of food. It's basically meal prepping. I'm just not portioning it out. But I'll cook like, let's say a big meatloaf, right? I make a big old meatloaf and then I can eat on that meatloaf for a few days. I take it for lunches the next day. It's easy, right? Cut off a piece of meatloaf, take it in my to-go container, and there's my lunch. I'll do things like cooking up a bunch of chicken in the crock pot, and I'll just season it with just kind of some basic seasoning that could go with any sort of meal. And then I'll shred that chicken up. And, maybe the first night I'm literally just having shredded chicken with some veggies and some roasted potatoes. And then the next night, if you get bored, you can use that same shredded chicken and you can make tacos with it, right? So then you could put some taco seasoning on a portion of that chicken and make chicken tacos. Then, the next night you could do a Greek bowl. So that shredded chicken, then you could have your Greek bowl of, let's say, some cucumbers, tomatoes, red onion, and feta, and then make a tzatziki sauce with that Greek yogurt over some rice or whatever, however you want to do it. So we have that Greek bowl. Then the next night with the shredded chicken, you could do shredded chicken with some broccoli and carrots and onions and, I think I said carrots, but whatever goes in like stir fry over rice and then add like soy sauce or teriyaki sauce and sriracha to it, some cilantro, green onions, and just each night you have a different kind of meal that's all coming from that big batch of chicken that you cooked up. So yeah, that's really like how I like to do it and have clients do the same thing. You could do the same thing with ground turkey and do all those different varieties, different nights, right? Ground chicken, ground beef, steak, whatever you want. You can cook up a bunch of meat and use that for dinner throughout the week and just, spice it up differently so that you don't get bored. And then, having that stuff to take for lunch is super, super easy. I really like at Costco, they'll have like a prepackaged, individually portioned like salmon or like tilapia. And you can literally just take a piece out and defrost it and throw it in the oven. It takes like 15 minutes, like so quick, so easy. It really eating healthy and eating high protein, it's really not that hard when you kind of get the hang of it and learn all these little, options that you can do. So yeah, like I said, cooking in bulk and eating off of it for the week is going to be a great thing to do. Like, great job. I think it was Becca that, yeah, prepped her food for the week. So great job. That's what you want to be doing. That's going to set you up for success. Let's see what else. Okay, so protein powder. I need to write something down so I don't forget. Okay. So yeah, if you guys are going to do a protein shake or a protein bar, I am bigger on doing protein shakes because I just haven't found a bar that I absolutely love. Um, there are like the Built bars that are okay at Costco. Some people like the barbell bars. There's also like the Kirkland brand of protein bars at Costco, which aren't horrible. I actually like those okay, but I'm just not crazy about them. Um, it's like the chocolate brownie and like chocolate cookie dough. Those taste all right. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about them, but those are options. But I really like using a protein powder, or like the Fairlife protein shakes that are at Costco. Those are a great option. They taste great. Everybody loves them. So Fairlife is a really easy go-to protein shake, pre-made protein shake, right? You can also find these in most gas stations, which is so cool. So if you're traveling on the road and you guys are stopping at the gas station and you want to get a better option, go check their fridge and see if they have those protein shakes in there. And a lot of the times they'll have the forget what they call them, but they are like double the protein. So it's like 42 grams of protein in one of their Fairlife drinks. So yeah, great option when you're on the road to help you get your protein in. A lot of people like to drink the Premier shakes, which I don't get because those things taste gross to me. I don't like them. They're chalky. But I want to say that those are not your best, not the best kind of protein that you're going to want to get. So if you look at your ingredients, the type of protein that you're going to want to get is whey isolate. Okay. And the reason for that is it's the most bioavailable, which is it's the best option for our body to be able to actually absorb and use that protein versus just like excreting it, right? So those blends, which is what the Premier is, I believe, they're not as great. We're not going to absorb it as much. So you want to get whey, you want to get whey isolate. And Fairlife is that. So that is the kind of protein powder or bars you want to get, is making sure that it's whey isolate on the back. And then another little tip is, say you're getting a protein powder, and to know if it's a good quality one is like obviously always less ingredients, right? That's big right there. But if it says it's 25 grams per serving of protein, that's great. But if it says you have to use 2 scoops to get 25 grams of protein, not a good option. If you have it, that's fine, use it up, but don't spend your money on it. Next time buy something else. And the reason for that is because it's just filled with a bunch of filler stuff because it takes 2 scoops versus 1 scoop. I love the Legion protein powder. They taste great. They are very clean. They're a very reputable company in the nutrition world. They are grass-fed. They're organic, humanely raised. There's like barely any sugar in it. Yeah, they actually taste great. They don't taste chalky. They're not overly sweet. Yeah, great option. Love those guys. If you are interested in purchasing Legion protein powder, let me know and I can send you a discount code for your first purchase. It'll give you like 20% off. So yeah, great company. I like their Dutch chocolate or their chocolate peanut butter. I haven't tried the other flavors, but one of my clients today, Julia, shout out to you. I'm shouting everybody out today. She said she likes the hazelnuts, their hazelnut protein powders. So yeah, love those guys. If you want 20% off your first order, let me know. And what's really cool is that if you don't like the flavor that you ordered, you can send it back and get a different flavor or get your money back. So super cool. Yes. I think that's all I was going to say there. Okay, so another thing to help you guys figure out if what you're eating is a high protein source is by looking at the nutrition label, okay? And so your nutrition label will say, let's give an example of like 160 calories per serving, okay? And then it'll say how much protein it is per serving. So if it says that it is 160 calories per serving with 16 grams of protein. This is a little trick of what you do. So you see 160 calories, 16 grams of protein. You add a 0 to the end of whatever the protein is. So if it was 16 grams of protein, you just add a 0. And this is how you figure out if it's high, is by adding that 0 and then comparing that number. So I added a 0 to 16 grams, so that's 160. I compare that 160 compared to the 160 calories per serving. And because it is equal, the same number, that means it is a high protein source. Anything above that, of course. So if it was like, 160 calories compared to 19 grams of protein, then I would add a 0 to the 19. That would be 119 on the protein compared to 160 calories. That shows me right there it is a good high protein source. But if it was 160 calories per only like, I don't know, 4 grams of protein, I would add a 0 to that 4, right? That gives me 40 compared to the 160. No, not a good source. You want it to be equal to or more, or maybe just a little bit lower, which is fine. But not, like, when you start getting to it's like half the amount, like that is not a good protein source. And so the reason I wanted to explain that to you guys is because, in the world right now, everyone is learning that protein's important. So there's a lot of like marketing scans that are like high protein, but then you look on the back and like I said, it's literally only 4 grams for a protein bar. Like you'll see a lot of bars that'll like market it as it's a protein bar, but it's really only like 4 grams of protein there. That is not a protein bar. That is all marketing. Your protein bar should be like somewhere around 20, 25 grams of protein. Same with protein shakes. If it's not the greatest option, unless it was like, only 100 calories for like 9 grams of protein. Like, well, that would mean you would add a 0, right? It'd be 100 versus 90. So yeah, that is high because it's up there, and you could literally eat 2 of those bars for 200 calories and get 18 grams of protein. So it's more up there. But yeah, hopefully that little trick helps you guys out when shopping for protein bars, protein powders, or just anything in general. The nice thing is that, yeah, high protein is becoming very popular. People are realizing how important it is. So there are a lot of options out there. There's like Kodiak Cakes has protein pancakes. That's another fun one you guys can make, is protein pancakes that you can put like some flavored Greek yogurt on top of to get more protein. There's the Kodiak protein oatmeal. There's, high protein oats that you can order online. Yeah, lots of options out there. So yeah, again, for those that don't understand grams, a fist size at every meal, that means that's a good protein meal. But again, add some more because you're probably still not eating enough. For those that are, doing grams and weighing their food, figure out your number, your weight, 130 times 130 grams, figure that out, break it down, 35 grams each meal, and then a shake or a bar. Yeah, so that is it. We're gonna stop sharing. Oh, this looks weird. Okay, there we go. So yes, we are done with our steps, right? We are moving on to these high protein meals. Again, you can either do 2 high protein meals and you don't have to do a shake or a bar, or you can do a high protein meal and a shake or a bar. And that's all you have to post pictures of on the thread that I'll be posting tomorrow. Yeah. If still try to push yourself to eat more than that, right? Having high protein at every meal and then adding a shake or a bar in. Continuing with our steps, we do not have to post our steps anymore, but you definitely can if you want to stay motivated, keep each other accountable. by all means, continue to post in that thread. And yeah, keep up the good work, guys. I know this is where it starts to get weird, right? We've already been a weekend. We may start to feel a little bit less motivated. Just keep it up. It's so important. Remember, you don't have to be perfect, and it is okay. Like those of you that are only able to post like sometimes 3,000 steps, like whatever, like keep up with it. So happy that you're posting it and you're working and you're trying. Like the fact that you are posting that and like you want to do better is what matters. Okay. So continue to do that. Continue to try to push yourself and do as best you can. You guys are all doing so great. I will post those guides in there. Yeah, if you guys have any questions on anything, please comment on this post. I'm sure others will have the same questions as well, so it will help anyone else who is confused. And yeah, just so stoked to see everyone that is, staying involved and continuing to work on bettering their health and working towards their goals. So let's keep it up, ladies. Let's work on the new you. And yeah, I will talk to you soon. Okay. Thanks, guys.